Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm All Things Wrestling, and since it's WrestleMania season, I thought today we'll do my top 10 favourite WrestleManias of all time. Let's kick it straight off with number 10, WrestleMania 18. Oh, doggy, this is a good WrestleMania for one match. Edge versus Booker T for a Japanese shampoo commercial. Don't you tell me you didn't enjoy that match. Don't you dare tell me. It was great. It was amazing. Okay, I'm lying. It was ready for The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. Icon versus Icon. What a match. The problem is it killed every match after because it was so good. The crowd was so hyped and then nothing could follow it. It was that damn good. Shame for Triple H and Chris Jericho there. But what a match that was. It was a really good WrestleMania. The reason I put it so low on the list is because I have no personal connection to it. So, unfortunately, it wasn't one of my favourites, but I had to put it on the list just because of that match. Alright, let's move on to number 9, WrestleMania 21. Oh, this was a good one. The debut of the Money in the Bank ladder match, which Edge won. That was good. The amazing Randy Orton versus The Undertaker match. Oh, one of my favourite Undertaker matches, that one is. You had Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels. That was an amazing match. John Cena won his first WWE Championship, and Batista toppled Triple H to win the World Heavyweight Championship. There was a couple of downsides. Aki Bono versus Big Show in a sumo match. Big Show in a diaper. That was shit. Good pay-per-view. I love this one, but I have a lot more favourite ones. That's why it's so low. But it was so good I could not miss the opportunity to mention about it. Let's move straight on to number 8. WrestleMania 22. I had a tough decision deciding whether it should be WrestleMania 22 or WrestleMania 20. I have to give WrestleMania 20 a mention here because of the iconic moment when Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero won the World Heavyweight and the WWE Championship and celebrated at the end of the night as dual champions. That moment is always cemented in history and is so amazing. The only reason WrestleMania 22 has toppled it is because of the emotional moment when Rey Mysterio won his first World Heavyweight Championship in honour of Eddie Guerrero. That's the only reason I put it, because that was such an honour to Eddie Guerrero. And it was a fairly decent Mania as well. Undertaker had a cassette match with Mark Henry. Shawn Michaels had a hell of a match against Vince McMahon. The Boogeyman was featured, and let's not forget one of the best hardcore matches in WWE history, Edge versus Mick Foley. And Bradshaw and Chris Benoit for the United States Championship. It was just a generally decent Mania, and I did enjoy that one. Alright, let's move straight on to number 7, WrestleMania 26. I bet you're surprised that this one got so low, actually, because it was a hell of a Mania. It had to get low because there's some more worthy. This had to get on the list, though, because we did have an amazing Chris Jericho Edge match. And I actually enjoyed the Bret Hart Vince McMahon match. I don't know why, it was just entertaining. But the main reason is the career versus streak match when Shawn Michaels' career ended. The day my wrestling fandom died. I'm joking, but I miss Shawn Michaels so much. It was a fairly decent Mania, but it was not really solid enough, in my opinion, to get any lower. I only like it mainly because of a couple of matches. So that's why I had to get low. Let's go straight on to number 6. WrestleMania 30. Ooh, this was a good one. Especially Daniel Bryan is the main reason this Mania is actually decent. I'm not going to lie. If it weren't for the Daniel Bryan moment, I wouldn't have even considered it in the slightest. But because of that whole beating Triple H, going to the main event and winning, it had to topple Shawn Michaels' career ending. Sorry, Shawn Michaels, I love you. I swear I do. I really do. But yeah, that was just a feel-good moment, and it was well-deserved, and it was well done. So it was worth it, and it had to get high. Oh, and just like to mention that Brock Lesnar beating the streak. That's the worst thing ever. Fuck off, Brock. Alright, let's move on to number 5, WrestleMania 23. Oh, this is the first WrestleMania I didn't watch. I watched 24 was the first one I actually watched. 23 is the first one I remember because it was a couple of months before I started watching wrestling, so it was all over the products. And looking back on it, it was a great Mania. John Cena drove through a bloody window in a car. And it had Shawn Michaels versus John Cena in an amazing match. Oh, and Vince McMahon getting his head shaved. That was amazing. I enjoyed that moment. And Batista Undertaker was fantastic. Chris Benoit was on the card. May he rest in peace. That's a controversial statement there, but okay. Leave me alone. And the Money in the Bank. Everything was just great. Apart from Greg Harley, Kane. That was terrible. But yeah, it was a great Mania. I did enjoy that one. And it has some nostalgic value. So that's why I got decent. Alright, let's move on to number 4. WrestleMania 25. Ooh, people are not going to be happy that I put this low. I enjoyed this Mania. The Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy match was actually really good. I have gone back and watched this Mania very recently, actually. And I have got to say, it was a very good Mania. I really did enjoy most of it. I thought the Triple H Randy Orton match should have been a no-holds-barred match. That would have made it more interesting, but what are you going to do? But the Undertaker Shawn Michaels match is really what makes this Mania for me. It was one hell of a match and one of my personal favourite matches. It was so good. Shawn should have won. Shawn should have broken this streak. Just my opinion. My mate will disagree with that one, but I'm a massive Shawn fan. Anyway, let's move straight on to number 3, WrestleMania 24. Ooh, this is a sad one. It got so high because Ric Flair being retired by Shawn Michaels is one of the saddest moments in WWE history. It was generally emotional. I watched this Mania live. This was the first Mania I did watch live. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. The Undertaker Edge match was amazing. Floyd Mayweather versus Big Show was a great match. I actually enjoyed that match. You had triple threat for the WWE Championship. That was great. Even Batista and Marga. You had quite a lot of decent stuff, I thought. CM Punk won the Money in the Bank match. That was decent. I just, generally enjoyed this Mania. Especially for the emotional moments. Alright, move on to number 2. WrestleMania 31. Oh, I loved this Mania. It's for one match. I'm a big mark, but it was Triple H versus Sting. I'm not going to lie, I am one of the biggest Sting fans. From all of his days in TNA. I didn't watch his WCW stuff, but I was a massive TNA fan. So I was a massive fan of Sting in there. And when he came to WWE, I was happy. I loved all the shenanigans, NWO DX shenanigans. It was amazing. Oh, you cannot mention this Mania without that. And then Seth Rollins' cash-in was so well done. He did it during the match and won the belt. It was so well done. The Undertaker Bray Wyatt match, so good. This Mania was just stacked, and I watched it live as well. It was so good. And then we go on to number 1, WrestleMania X7. Yes, people say it's the best WrestleMania of all time, and it's my favourite. I have watched this Mania, and I will have to agree, it is the greatest WrestleMania of all time. I could say I've enjoyed every single one of these matches on this card. I enjoyed everything. It was all solid, especially the hardcore match. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit. Oh, that was a classic match. Shane McMahon, Mr. McMahon Street Fight. Oh my god, I was not expecting much from that, but whoa, doggy, that blew me away. You had the TLC 2. Oh, that was one of the best TLC matches of all time. Possibly the best TLC match of all time. Undertaker Triple H for the first time. And then The Rock Steve Austin with the heel turn. Oh, that was one of the best Mania main events of all time. It was good. And this was one hell of a Mania. And it has to be my favourite Mania of all time. Now, I do hope you've enjoyed this list. If you have, please give it a like, subscribe to see more content, and I'll catch you later.